Outsmarting the games. A Stoic approach to relationships. Navigating modern relationships can be complex, especially when faced with emotional games and unpredictable behavior. Many men find themselves caught in a cycle of confusion and frustration, wondering how to maintain respect and control in such situations. The truth is, mastering relationships begins with mastering yourself. When you understand your emotions, establish clear boundaries, and remain patient and grounded, you elevate yourself beyond the chaos. This video dives into 10 powerful strategies that empower you to handle any situation where a woman might test your emotional stability. These principles, deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy and modern psychology, are not about manipulation or gamesmanship. Instead, they focus on helping you cultivate self-respect, emotional resilience, and calm confidence, qualities that naturally command respect and admiration. From communicating clearly and prioritizing your well-being to practicing patience and knowing when to walk away, these insights will transform how you approach relationships. This isn't just about romantic dynamics. It's about becoming the best version of yourself in all aspects of life. So, if you're ready to break free from toxic patterns, avoid unnecessary drama, and establish a dynamic of mutual respect and understanding, this video is for you. By the end, you'll have actionable strategies to build healthier relationships and the confidence to walk away from anything that doesn't serve your growth. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to emotional mastery and relationship success. Number 1. Detach emotionally. Detaching emotionally doesn't mean shutting off your feelings or becoming cold. It's about maintaining control over your emotions and not letting them dictate your actions. Emotional detachment is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy and an essential tool in navigating relationships effectively. It allows you to assess situations objectively, free from impulsive reactions or misplaced attachments. When a woman tests you emotionally, whether through subtle mind games, emotional withdrawal, or unpredictable behavior, the key is to remain composed. Reacting with frustration, desperation, or anger only gives away your power. Instead, take a step back, breathe, and evaluate the situation logically. Why is she acting this way? What does her behavior reveal about her intentions? Most importantly, how does this align with your values and goals? Emotional detachment also means not tying your sense of worth to external validation. If someone's behavior or approval affects your self-esteem, they hold power over you. By detaching emotionally, you reclaim that power and focus on your personal growth and inner peace. This mindset not only protects you from unnecessary stress, but also commands respect. People are naturally drawn to those who are secure and unshaken by external forces. Practicing emotional detachment requires patience and mindfulness. Start by recognizing your triggers, situations or behaviors that make you feel emotionally vulnerable. When you encounter them, pause and ask yourself, does this deserve my energy? Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to respond with intention rather than react impulsively. It's also essential to maintain healthy boundaries. Detaching emotionally doesn't mean tolerating poor treatment or ignoring red flags. It's about creating space between your feelings and actions so you can make decisions based on logic and self-respect. For instance, if someone's behavior becomes toxic, emotional detachment allows you to recognize it and walk away without guilt or second-guessing yourself. By detaching emotionally, you send a powerful message. Your inner peace is non-negotiable. This approach not only protects your mental well-being, but also demonstrates a level of maturity and self-control that's incredibly attractive. Remember, you don't need to play emotional games or prove your worth to anyone. When you master emotional detachment, you master yourself, and that's the ultimate form of power. Number 2. Recognize behavioral patterns. The second key to knowing when to walk away is the ability to recognize behavioral patterns. People's actions and behavior tend to follow predictable patterns over time. Whether it's in a romantic relationship, friendship, or work dynamic, these patterns provide insight into the true nature of a relationship and whether it's worth continuing. By learning to spot these behaviors early on, you can avoid unnecessary emotional turmoil and make decisions that align with your long-term well-being. Recognizing behavioral patterns involves understanding that actions speak louder than words. While someone may tell you they care, love you, or want the best for you, their actions will reveal their true intentions. It's easy to become swept up in what people say, especially when we have an emotional attachment. However, when you focus on their behavior over time, you begin to see whether their words match their actions. If there is a consistent disconnect between what someone says and what they do, it may indicate that the relationship is not as healthy or genuine as it seems. For example, if someone constantly promises to change but never follows through, that is a behavioral pattern you should notice. Promises without actions lead to disappointment and betrayal over time. Similarly, if someone consistently disrespects your boundaries, dismisses your feelings, or ignores your needs, these are all signs that their behavior is not aligned with the type of respect and care that you deserve. Recognizing these patterns early can help you decide whether it's worth investing more time or energy into a relationship, or if it's better to walk away before things get more complicated. Another important aspect of recognizing behavioral patterns is understanding the impact they have on your mental and emotional health. When you are involved in a relationship or situation where certain behaviors are consistently harmful or toxic, they can drain your energy and self-esteem. It may not always be easy to see this in the moment, but over time, the effects become clearer. You may begin to feel frustrated, anxious, or disillusioned, and that's when it's time to reflect on whether the relationship or situation is worth continuing. Often, behavioral patterns are the early warning signs of a situation that will only worsen with time. In addition, understanding these patterns can help you break free from cycles of self-sabotage. For example, if you have a tendency to ignore red flags or make excuses for someone's poor behavior, you might find yourself in toxic relationships repeatedly. Recognizing this as a pattern in your own behavior is the first step in breaking the cycle and making healthier decisions going forward. Recognizing patterns also applies to the behavior of those around you. Take note of how people treat others, not just how they treat you. If someone is consistently rude, dismissive, or manipulative toward others, there's a good chance they will eventually treat you the same way. Being observant of these patterns not only helps you assess the integrity of the person, but it also keeps you from being blindsided later on. Once you've identified unhealthy behavioral patterns, the next step is to decide whether these behaviors align with your values and boundaries. If they don't, it's a sign that the relationship may not be conducive to your growth or well-being. Walking away from a situation where negative behaviors are consistent allows you to protect your peace and preserve your self-respect. Recognizing behavioral patterns is an essential skill for knowing when to walk away. It requires mindfulness, patience, and a deep understanding of your own needs and values. By paying attention to both your own actions and those of others, you gain the clarity needed to make decisions that serve your best interests. Whether it's a toxic friendship, a draining work environment, or a failing romantic relationship, recognizing behavioral patterns helps you understand when it's time to let go and prioritize your own happiness. Number 3. Set boundaries. Early. Setting boundaries early in any relationship or interaction is a critical step toward protecting your emotional and mental well-being. Whether you're dealing with a romantic partner, a family member, a friend, or a colleague, setting clear and firm boundaries from the beginning can help prevent future issues, and it provides clarity for both parties involved. Setting boundaries is a proactive strategy to ensure that you are respected and that your needs are honored, and it also sets the tone for how you expect to be treated. When you set boundaries early, you are communicating your limits and making it clear what is acceptable behavior and what is not. Boundaries might vary depending on the relationship, but they always center on mutual respect. For instance, in a romantic relationship, boundaries could involve how much personal space you need, the level of communication you expect, or how you handle disagreements. In a work environment, your boundaries could include what you consider to be an appropriate work-life balance, how you want to be treated by co-workers, or how much work you're willing to take on. No matter the context, boundaries serve as a protective measure against disrespect, manipulation, or exploitation. Setting boundaries early helps to establish expectations. Without clear boundaries, people often fall into unhealthy patterns or take advantage of each other's kindness or availability. For example, if you don't set boundaries with a colleague who consistently asks for favors or expects you to work beyond your hours, you might find yourself overwhelmed or taken for granted. Similarly, in a romantic relationship, if you don't establish clear communication about your needs and desires, it can lead to misunderstandings and frustration. Setting boundaries early helps avoid these situations and establishes respect from the start. One of the most important aspects of setting boundaries early is being clear and assertive. Many people struggle with assertiveness, especially when they fear conflict or rejection. However, it is crucial to communicate your boundaries in a calm and direct manner. For example, you might say, "I need to have some personal space after work," or "I'm not comfortable discussing certain topics with you." Being assertive doesn't mean being rude or aggressive. It simply means standing firm in your needs without feeling guilty. It's important to remember that setting boundaries is not about controlling others. It's about taking responsibility for your own well-being. It's also essential to remain consistent when it comes to boundaries. People may test your limits, and it's important to stand by the boundaries you've set. If you allow someone to violate your boundaries once, they may assume it's acceptable to do so again. Consistency helps reinforce the importance of respecting each other's limits. If you set a boundary and someone crosses it, it's important to address it immediately. Let them know that their behavior was not acceptable and that you expect your boundaries to be respected moving forward. Setting boundaries early also prevents resentment from building up over time. When we fail to communicate our limits, we may find ourselves silently fuming about situations that bother us, which can lead to frustration and emotional burnout. By setting clear boundaries early on, you create an environment where issues can be addressed in a healthy way without letting negative feelings build up. This helps maintain open and honest communication, which is vital for any relationship to thrive. Lastly, setting boundaries early teaches others how to treat you. It sets a standard for respect and creates an understanding that your time, energy, and emotions are valuable. People who genuinely care about you will respect your boundaries, while those who don't will likely show their true intentions. If someone repeatedly disrespects your boundaries, it may be a sign that the relationship is unhealthy and that walking away could be in your best interest. In conclusion, setting boundaries early is a key strategy for maintaining healthy relationships and ensuring that your needs are met. Boundaries help you avoid manipulation, maintain respect, and reduce conflict. They also serve as a clear signal to others about how you expect to be treated. By being assertive, consistent, and mindful of your needs, you create an environment where your relationships can flourish and you avoid unnecessary stress and resentment. When you set boundaries early, you take control of your emotional and mental health, which ultimately empowers you to make decisions that align with your well-being. Number 4, stay calm under pressure. Staying calm under pressure is a crucial skill, especially when navigating challenging situations or dealing with difficult people. Whether it's a confrontation, a high-stakes work project, or an emotionally charged conversation, the ability to remain composed can significantly impact the outcome. In the context of maintaining your well-being, staying calm under pressure not only helps you make better decisions, but also allows you to assert control over your emotions and reactions. One of the key benefits of staying calm under pressure is that it helps you think more clearly. When you're emotionally charged, your judgment is clouded, and your decision-making ability can be compromised. This can lead to impulsive actions or saying things you might regret. However, when you stay calm, you're better able to assess the situation objectively, consider all options, and respond with a clear mind. Whether it's responding to criticism, handling an emergency, or managing conflict, the ability to pause, take a deep breath, and approach the situation logically can make a world of difference. Staying calm also allows you to maintain control of your emotions rather than letting them control you. Emotions like anger, frustration, or anxiety are natural responses, but when they become overwhelming, they can undermine your ability to think critically and act appropriately. For instance, in a tense conversation, if you react impulsively or allow yourself to become defensive, the situation may escalate. However, if you can take a moment to breathe and regain your composure, you're better able to engage in a productive dialogue, express your thoughts calmly, and manage the situation in a way that reduces conflict. Additionally, staying calm under pressure can have a positive effect on those around you. People often look to leaders, mentors, or role models for guidance in stressful situations, and when they see you remain composed, it can help them feel more secure and focused as well. Your calm demeanor can create an atmosphere of stability, allowing others to respond in a more measured way too. This is particularly important in leadership roles, where your ability to manage stress and make rational decisions can inspire confidence and trust from your team or peers. To stay calm, it's essential to develop self-awareness and recognize your triggers. Everyone has certain stressors or situations that tend to push their buttons. Understanding these triggers allows you to prepare yourself mentally, so when faced with high-pressure scenarios, you can react with calmness rather than becoming overwhelmed. For example, if you know you tend to get frustrated when someone interrupts you, you can practice breathing exercises or mentally prepare yourself to respond with patience before the situation occurs. One powerful technique to stay calm is to focus on your breath. Deep breathing activates the body's parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for calming down the fight-or-flight response. By practicing deep breathing, you can reduce the physical symptoms of stress, such as increased heart rate or shallow breathing, and center yourself. You can also use mindfulness techniques, which help you focus on the present moment rather than ruminating on past mistakes or worrying about future outcomes. Another way to stay calm under pressure is to reframe the situation. Often, stress arises when we view a challenge as insurmountable or when we feel a sense of urgency. By taking a step back and reassessing the situation, you can reframe it as an opportunity for growth or problem solving rather than something that's beyond your control. This shift in mindset can reduce feelings of anxiety and empower you to approach the situation with confidence. Additionally, practicing Stoic principles can be incredibly beneficial in maintaining calm under pressure. The Stoics believed that while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions to them. This philosophy teaches us to focus on what's within our control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, while accepting that we cannot always control what happens around us. By embracing this mindset, we can detach ourselves from the chaos of the moment and respond with rationality and poise, rather than allowing external circumstances to dictate our emotional state. Lastly, staying calm under pressure requires practice. Like any skill, it takes time and effort to develop. Regularly putting yourself in challenging situations and actively working on staying composed in those moments will help you build resilience and improve your ability to handle stress. Over time, this will become second nature, and you'll be better equipped to handle whatever comes your way. Number 5. Focus on long-term goals. Focusing on long-term goals is one of the most powerful ways to maintain control over your life and stay grounded, especially when faced with challenges or emotional triggers. In a world that often emphasizes instant gratification, it can be easy to lose sight of the bigger picture and get distracted by short-term setbacks or temporary rewards. However, a clear focus on long-term goals provides you with a sense of purpose, motivation, and direction, helping you navigate difficult moments with resilience and patience. One of the key reasons to focus on long-term goals is that they help you stay aligned with your values and priorities. When you define your long-term objectives, you create a roadmap for your life that reflects your deeper aspirations. Whether it's advancing in your career, improving your health, or cultivating meaningful relationships, long-term goals provide a framework for making decisions and taking consistent action toward your vision of success. This clarity can prevent you from being swayed by fleeting desires or distractions that may not align with your true values. Moreover, long-term goals give you a sense of purpose and motivation, especially when you're confronted with setbacks or challenges. Life is filled with obstacles, whether they come in the form of difficult people, unexpected changes, or personal struggles. However, when you have a clear sense of your long-term vision, you're better equipped to persevere through tough times. Instead of focusing on temporary difficulties, you can remind yourself that they are just stepping stones on the path to your ultimate goal. This perspective enables you to maintain a sense of optimism even when things don't go as planned. One of the Stoic principles that can help reinforce this mindset is the idea of amor fati, the love of fate. This philosophy encourages us to embrace everything that happens in our lives, whether good or bad, as part of a larger plan. By focusing on long-term goals, you can view challenges as opportunities for growth, learning, and self-improvement. This mindset allows you to remain calm and composed, knowing that every experience, no matter how difficult, is helping you move closer to your ultimate purpose. Focusing on long-term goals also helps you build resilience and perseverance. It's easy to get discouraged when faced with short-term failures or when progress seems slow. However, if you maintain a focus on the bigger picture, you can avoid getting bogged down by temporary setbacks. Instead of seeing failure as a reason to give up, you'll view it as a necessary part of the process, an opportunity to learn, adapt, and improve. Over time, this resilience builds and strengthens your ability to navigate adversity. Another benefit of focusing on long-term goals is that it helps you make better choices in the present. When you know where you want to be in the future, you're more likely to make decisions that align with that vision. This can apply to various areas of your life, such as your finances, relationships, and personal development. For example, if one of your long-term goals is to achieve financial independence, you might make sacrifices in the short term, like cutting back on unnecessary expenses or investing in your education, knowing that these actions will pay off in the future. Similarly, if you want to improve your physical health, staying disciplined with your exercise routine or diet will bring long-term benefits, even if the results aren't immediately visible. Furthermore, focusing on long-term goals helps you resist the temptation of distractions that might derail your progress. In a world full of short-term pleasures and instant gratification, it's easy to get caught up in things that feel good in the moment, but ultimately don't contribute to your long-term happiness or success. Whether it's indulging in unhealthy habits, seeking approval from others, or getting lost in social media, distractions can pull you away from what truly matters. By keeping your eye on the bigger picture, you're more likely to stay focused on what's important and avoid getting sidetracked by fleeting temptations. It's also important to break down long-term goals into smaller, manageable steps. While the big picture can seem overwhelming, breaking your goal down into smaller tasks makes it more achievable and less daunting. Celebrate each milestone along the way, no matter how small, as it brings you one step closer to your ultimate vision. This incremental progress reinforces your sense of accomplishment and keeps you motivated, even when the road ahead seems long. Number 6. Avoid emotional retaliation. Avoiding emotional retaliation is one of the most crucial strategies for maintaining control over your emotions and interactions with others, particularly in challenging situations. Emotional retaliation occurs when we react impulsively to someone's actions, often driven by anger, frustration, or hurt. While it might feel satisfying in the moment to get back at someone or to let them know how they've made us feel, emotional retaliation rarely leads to constructive outcomes. Instead, it often exacerbates the situation, damages relationships, and erodes our inner peace. The first step in avoiding emotional retaliation is to recognize when you're triggered. Whether it's an insult, a misunderstanding, or an unjust action, certain behaviors can provoke a visceral reaction. However, it's essential to pause and assess the situation before reacting. The Stoic practice of apatheia, the absence of unhealthy emotions, teaches us to distance ourselves from our initial emotional response. By taking a step back and reflecting, we can prevent knee-jerk reactions and choose a more thoughtful course of action. One way to do this is through mindful breathing. When you feel the urge to lash out, take a few deep breaths to center yourself and allow the intensity of your emotions to subside. This simple technique helps you regain control of your reactions, making it easier to respond with calmness and clarity rather than impulsivity. In those moments, consider asking yourself, what is the purpose of my response? Will reacting emotionally solve anything, or will it only make matters worse? Another critical factor in avoiding emotional retaliation is understanding the motivations behind other people's actions. Often, people's behavior is a reflection of their own struggles, insecurities, or misunderstandings, rather than an intentional attempt to harm or provoke us. Recognizing this can help you approach the situation with empathy rather than defensiveness. Instead of immediately retaliating, take a moment to reflect on the possibility that the person may not have intended to hurt you, or that their actions might have been influenced by circumstances beyond your control. It's also helpful to reframe your thinking by focusing on the bigger picture. When someone offends you, it can be easy to take it personally. However, it's essential to remind yourself that other people's actions are not always a reflection of your worth or character. As Marcus Aurelius said, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. By detaching from the emotional weight of others' words or behaviors, you can prevent their actions from triggering a retaliatory response. Instead of engaging in a power struggle or escalating the conflict, you maintain control by choosing not to take offense. In moments where emotional retaliation seems inevitable, it's important to remember that silence can be a powerful response. Sometimes saying nothing is the most effective way to preserve your peace and avoid further conflict. Stoicism teaches us that we should only speak when our words are beneficial and necessary. If responding emotionally won't contribute to the resolution of the issue, then remaining silent allows you to maintain your dignity and composure. Over time, this practice will strengthen your ability to remain calm in the face of provocation, leading to greater emotional intelligence and resilience. Additionally, avoiding emotional retaliation involves exercising patience. Often, people act out of frustration or misunderstanding, and reacting impulsively only escalates the tension. Instead, take the time to assess the situation fully before responding. This moment of pause allows you to determine whether a response is truly needed or if it's better to let the issue pass without further engagement. If a response is necessary, it's important to approach it with a sense of clarity and detachment, focusing on problem solving rather than engaging in a tit-for-tat exchange. One of the benefits of avoiding emotional retaliation is that it fosters healthier relationships. When we react emotionally, we often provoke further conflict and create a toxic environment. However, when we respond with patience, calm, and understanding, we model emotional maturity and create an atmosphere of respect and trust. Over time, people will come to respect your ability to remain composed, and they'll be less likely to engage in behavior that triggers emotional responses. Furthermore, by choosing not to engage in emotional retaliation, we safeguard our mental and physical health. Anger and stress can take a significant toll on our well-being, causing emotional burnout, anxiety, and even physical ailments. By practicing emotional restraint, we free ourselves from the toxic effects of holding on to grudges or reacting to every perceived slight. Instead, we preserve our energy for more productive endeavors and focus on maintaining our inner peace. In conclusion, avoiding emotional retaliation is a powerful tool for maintaining emotional control, fostering healthy relationships, and promoting personal well-being. Through mindfulness, empathy, and a focus on long-term goals, we can prevent impulsive reactions and respond to others with calmness and clarity. By choosing to detach from emotional triggers, we not only improve our interactions with others, but also enhance our own emotional intelligence and resilience. In doing so, we create an environment of peace and respect, where our actions are guided by reason, not reactivity. Number 7. Communicate clearly and firmly. 450-word effective communication is one of the most important tools for navigating relationships and conflicts without letting emotions control your responses. Communicating clearly and firmly allows you to express your thoughts, needs, and boundaries in a way that is both respectful and assertive, without being aggressive or passive. This approach not only ensures that you're heard, but also establishes your position in a way that is difficult to undermine. The key to clear and firm communication is to be direct and to the point. Avoid ambiguity, as it can lead to confusion and misinterpretation. When you need to express a point, whether it's a boundary, expectation, or concern, say it in simple, straightforward terms. For example, instead of saying, "I don't like it when people ignore me," say, "I need timely communication and respect in our interactions." This clarity reduces the chance for misunderstanding and makes your message more difficult to ignore or misinterpret. Being firm doesn't mean being rude or inflexible. It means standing by your values and needs without yielding to pressure or manipulation. This requires confidence in your perspective and the ability to assert your stance without apologizing for it. If someone attempts to challenge your point of view, remain steady and composed. Reiterate your position calmly, keeping your tone respectful but firm. In this way, you convey that you will not be easily swayed or manipulated, and that your feelings and boundaries are worth honoring. In addition to being clear and firm, It's essential to maintain a respectful tone. This helps prevent the conversation from becoming confrontational, which could lead to emotional escalation. A firm response doesn't have to be harsh. It's possible to be assertive while remaining polite and composed. For instance, rather than raising your voice or sounding frustrated, use a calm, even tone that demonstrates control over your emotions. Another important aspect of clear communication is active listening. Before responding to someone, make sure you fully understand their perspective. By listening attentively and acknowledging their feelings or points, you show respect for the other person, making it more likely that they will listen to you in return. This two-way communication fosters mutual respect and helps avoid misunderstandings or unnecessary conflict. One challenge in communicating clearly and firmly is staying true to your message, especially when emotions are high. During a heated conversation, it's easy to lose sight of your original intention and get caught up in emotional responses. To prevent this, take a moment to gather your thoughts before responding. If needed, pause and breathe before continuing the conversation. This will help you maintain control of your emotions and ensure that your response is measured and purposeful. In relationships, whether personal or professional, clear and firm communication is essential for establishing healthy boundaries. If you let others push your boundaries without addressing it, they may continue to overstep, leading to resentment and frustration. Communicating clearly when a line has been crossed helps prevent future misunderstandings and ensures that your needs are met. Lastly, clear and firm communication is empowering. It allows you to express yourself authentically and assertively, without second-guessing yourself or being afraid of others' reactions. It helps you advocate for yourself, make decisions with confidence, and navigate difficult conversations without feeling overwhelmed. Over time, practicing this style of communication can also build your self-esteem and self-respect as you become more comfortable standing up for what you believe in. Number 8. Prioritize your own well-being. Prioritizing your own well-being is a crucial aspect of emotional resilience and personal growth. When you focus on your well-being, you cultivate a mindset that fosters self-care, health, and peace of mind. This is especially important when dealing with emotionally charged situations or manipulative behavior. By taking care of yourself first, you are better equipped to manage external pressures, set healthy boundaries, and avoid being drawn into unhealthy dynamics. The first step in prioritizing your well-being is recognizing that self-care is not selfish. It's essential for your physical, emotional, and mental health. If you're constantly focused on the needs and emotions of others, you may find yourself exhausted, anxious, or resentful. This can lead to burnout, making it difficult to respond effectively to situations that challenge your peace of mind. When you prioritize yourself, you're essentially putting on your own oxygen mask first, allowing you to be more present and effective in other areas of your life. Start by assessing your needs. What are the aspects of your life that need attention? Is it physical health, such as exercise and nutrition? Is it emotional health, such as finding ways to release stress or practicing mindfulness? Or is it mental health, like setting aside time for relaxation or pursuing hobbies that bring you joy? Identifying your specific needs helps you focus on areas that can enhance your well-being. One powerful way to prioritize your well-being is by setting aside regular time for self-care. This doesn't have to be extravagant. Even small daily practices like taking a walk, meditating, journaling, or engaging in a creative activity can make a significant difference in your emotional and physical health. Regular self-care practices not only help you recharge, but also strengthen your emotional boundaries, allowing you to stay centered when faced with challenging situations. Additionally, managing stress is a vital part of maintaining your well-being. Stress can manifest in many forms, emotional, physical, or mental, and chronic stress can take a toll on your health. To prioritize your well-being, find effective ways to manage stress. This might involve engaging in relaxation techniques like deep breathing, yoga, or spending time in nature. Regular exercise also plays a significant role in reducing stress and improving your mood. Taking care of your physical health will not only improve your overall well-being, but will also increase your resilience in difficult situations. Another important aspect of prioritizing your well-being is learning to say no when necessary. People who struggle with people-pleasing tendencies often find it difficult to refuse requests, even when they are overwhelmed or unable to meet their own needs. By saying no when appropriate, you are protecting your emotional energy and reinforcing the importance of your well-being. It's essential to remember that you don't need to justify your boundaries. Saying no is an act of self-respect and an essential part of maintaining a healthy life balance. Being selective about the people you spend time with is also key to preserving your well-being. Surround yourself with individuals who are supportive, positive, and respect your boundaries. Toxic relationships, whether personal or professional, can drain your energy and affect your mental health. If you find yourself in such relationships, it's essential to evaluate whether it's worth maintaining them or if it's time to distance yourself for the sake of your well-being. Prioritizing your well-being also involves practicing self-compassion. Be kind to yourself, especially when you make mistakes or face challenges. Don't be too hard on yourself and allow space for growth and learning. Self-compassion helps you build resilience, as you'll be more likely to bounce back from setbacks and approach future challenges with a balanced mindset. In your pursuit of well-being, remember that balance is key. Focusing on one aspect of your life at the expense of others can lead to burnout and dissatisfaction. Ensure that you are nurturing your mind, body, and spirit in a holistic way, addressing all aspects of your well-being. It may take time to develop these habits, but by consistently prioritizing your health and happiness, you create a foundation of strength that will support you during difficult times. Number 9. Practice. Patience. Patience is a powerful skill that allows you to maintain composure, make wiser decisions, and handle challenges with grace. In a world that often prioritizes immediate results, practicing patience helps you stay grounded and focused on long-term success rather than short-term gratification. It is an essential quality for navigating relationships, achieving goals, and maintaining inner peace. The first step to cultivating patience is understanding its value. Impatience can lead to hasty decisions, unnecessary conflict, and emotional burnout. Conversely, patience enables you to assess situations thoroughly, respond thoughtfully, and build stronger connections with others. It also fosters resilience, helping you persevere during difficult times. One way to practice patience is by managing your expectations. Unrealistic demands on yourself, others, or circumstances often breed frustration. Instead, embrace flexibility and accept that progress takes time. Break larger goals into smaller, achievable steps and celebrate each milestone. This approach not only prevents overwhelm, but also keeps you motivated. Mindfulness is another effective tool for developing patience. When you feel impatience rising, pause and take a few deep breaths. Acknowledge your feelings without judgment and refocus on the present moment. This simple practice can help you avoid reactive behaviors and respond more calmly. Patience also involves recognizing the value of waiting. Some outcomes improve with time, whether it's nurturing relationships, mastering a skill, or allowing natural processes to unfold. Rushing often disrupts the potential for growth and quality, while patience fosters deeper and more meaningful results. Practicing patience doesn't mean passively tolerating harmful behavior or stagnation. It's about balancing action with timing. For example, if you're waiting for someone to change, patience doesn't mean enduring mistreatment. Instead, it involves giving them space while also setting boundaries and focusing on your own growth. In relationships, patience builds trust and understanding. Everyone has flaws and moments of vulnerability. By showing patience, you create an environment where others feel safe to express themselves, leading to stronger connections and mutual respect. Lastly, be patient with yourself. Personal growth is a lifelong journey, and setbacks are part of the process. Treat your mistakes as learning opportunities, and remind yourself that progress, no matter how slow, is still progress. Practicing patience empowers you to approach life with steadiness and confidence. It helps you remain calm in the face of challenges, strengthen your relationships, and achieve goals with greater clarity and intention. Number 10. Choose when to walk away. Knowing when to walk away is one of the most important aspects of protecting your peace, maintaining your self-respect, and preserving your energy. The Stoic mindset teaches that not every battle is worth fighting, and not every relationship or situation requires your involvement. Choosing when to walk away can be a powerful act of wisdom, self-care, and self-control. Walking away doesn't mean giving up. Rather, it reflects a conscious decision to disengage from negativity, toxicity, or unproductive situations. It's a demonstration of strength, not weakness, because it takes courage and clarity to recognize when something is no longer serving you, your values, or your well-being. One reason to walk away is when you're faced with a situation where you cannot control the outcome. Stoicism teaches us to focus only on what is within our control and to accept what lies beyond it. If you are putting energy into something that is out of your hands, whether it's trying to change someone who is unwilling to change or attempting to fix a problem that is beyond your capacity, it may be time to step back. Walking away in such situations can prevent unnecessary stress, frustration, and emotional exhaustion. In relationships, it's crucial to recognize when staying is detrimental to your mental, emotional, or even physical health. Whether it's a friendship, family dynamic, or romantic relationship, staying in a toxic environment can drain your energy, erode your sense of self-worth, and limit your growth. Walking away isn't an abandonment of the person or the situation. It's a decision to prioritize your well-being and give yourself the space to heal and move forward. Sometimes the best way to grow is to leave behind the things that hold you back. Staying in a situation that doesn't align with your goals, values, or personal growth can keep you stagnant. If you are continually facing disrespect, manipulation, or abuse, or if you're stuck in a cycle of negativity, walking away is an act of reclaiming your life. Knowing when to walk away also applies to professional situations. Whether it's a toxic workplace, a job that no longer aligns with your goals, or a project that is not worth pursuing, walking away can be a sign of taking control over your future. Walking away doesn't mean quitting in the sense of failure. Instead, it can mean redirecting your energy to something that will bring you more fulfillment, success, and personal satisfaction. The decision to walk away requires emotional intelligence. It involves assessing the situation with clarity, detaching from any emotional reactions, and understanding that letting go is sometimes the best option for moving forward.